There are increased calls for House Republicans to take more drastic action following the fourth Trump indictment. One step could be using the power of subpoena. One America's Daniel Baldwin has more.
The fourth indictment of President Donald J. Trump came down late Monday evening. The response from Republicans featured a lot of tweets, a lot of statements, but not a lot of concrete action. Mike Davis, founder and president of the Article 3 Project. Sir, every time we see something happen with Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, we immediately see something happen with Trump, whether it's an indictment, news of an indictment, etc. Yet it never happens in the other way. It feels as though House Republicans are consistently caught with their hands down. What should they be doing in response to this fourth indictment?
The D.C. swamp is the only place on the planet where the reptiles lack backbones, and that includes Republicans. And I would say this to House Republicans. Democrats, for the last year, going back to the unprecedented, unnecessary, and unlawful home raid on President Trump for having his presidential records, which he's allowed to have under the Presidential Records Act, is lawfare against a former president and a leading presidential candidate. The reason they're able to get away with this is because there's been very little response from Republicans, including House Republicans, and there must be a response. The Democrats have been emboldened by the lack of response from House Republicans, and here we are with this republic ending lawfare, where we are indicting a former president and a potential future president for another set of non-crimes. The reason Democrats are on offense with their lawfare is because we do not have them on defense, because House Republicans have been rolling over and playing dead on this lawfare against President Trump, and tweets are not going to cut it. We can tweet in the minority. I can tweet. House Republican chairmen have subpoena power, and they need to start using that subpoena power.
Well, speaking of subpoena power, do you believe it would be appropriate to subpoena communications between Fani Willis and Jack Smith? Because, Mike, they each had 2.5 years to bring forth these lawsuits, and they get brought forth within 3 weeks of each other. Do you believe that there could have been communication between Smith and Fani Willis regarding their lawsuits? And when I say communication, do you believe there could have been collusion?
There's absolutely collusion between the Biden White House, the Biden Justice Department, and these Democrat DAs and other politicians like Fani Willis, like Alvin Bragg, like Tish James, Jack Smith. They're clearly colluding here. It's not a coincidence that these are all being timed perfectly to interfere in the presidential election. They did nothing for 30 months and after Trump left office, and all of a sudden they all want to indict at the same time, right in the middle of the presidential primary and presidential campaign. This is the key thing at that press conference. Fani Willis was asked if she is coordinating with Jack Smith and the Biden Justice Department, and she declined to answer that question.
Had any contact with the special counsel about the overlap between this indictment and the federal indictment?
I'm not going to discuss our investigation at this time.
House Republicans should subpoena those communications immediately. Subpoena the records, subpoena people, put them in front of staff depositions, and then put them in front of the cameras and let them explain to the American people why the Biden White House, with Jonathan Sue, the deputy White House counsel for Biden, who greenlighted this lawfare a year ago with the unprecedented, unnecessary, and unlawful home raid on President Trump in Mar-a-Lago, why Biden has been involved with this, with Garland and these Democrat politicians in New York, in D.C. and Atlanta. I would say this to these Democrats, though. If they think that this is going to work, they are badly mistaken. And we're already seeing in the polls that this is backfiring spectacularly on President Biden and Democrats, this lawfare that they're running against President Trump.
Mike Davis, Article 3 Project founder and president. Sir, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.